All right, in this lesson we're going to show you some tips on locating and coordinating your building project with your toposurface and the geodetic elevations of those. So coordinating the project with the geodetic elevations for your toposurface. So I've just started. I've got a very basic project here, level 1, level 2, 10 feet apart. Okay, very straightforward, nothing up my sleeve. If you click on the level line, and I'm going to come back to this, you'll notice if you check the type properties of the level line itself, it says it is reporting project base elevation. Okay, we're going to come back and change that in a little bit, but note that the elevation marker itself, the tag, is showing elevation base as being project. Okay, that's the normal way. Okay, I'll just cancel out of that. So now what I want to do is create a toposurface that's up in the sky somewhere. It's at 50 feet I'm going to use. So I'll go to my site plan and I will draw a toposurface. So I'll go here and I'll say toposurface at 50 feet. And I'll say that's my two high points, and then it's sloping down a little bit, so I'll say okay, down to 45 feet. Okay, good. So sloping down 5 feet from there to there, and then I finish. Click out, SD on the keyboard, maybe go look at the 3D view. There's my building down there, okay, and there's my toposurface kind of floating up in the sky. Yours might be significantly higher than that. Okay, so if you go to a south elevation, there's my building, there's my toposurface kind of up there. So what I need to do is I'm saying, well, I want that grade to kind of slope across my foundation. So I want it to be, my zero here, I want to be about, 3 feet, 2 or 3 feet above this point here, so sticking up a little bit, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move the project just like a regular move. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to do a big crossing box on here, or you can select it however you want, and all I'm going to do is really I'm just going to use my nudge, which is a shift, an arrow key, and a shift arrow key is a large nudge, so I can do little nudges or I can do big ones. So I'm physically moving it. I don't have to use the move command. So up it goes. Okay, one more, nudge it down a little bit, zoom in. So basically move your project up to where it's supposed to be. Okay, so somewhere around there. And obviously the earlier you do this, the better. Click out and there's my building. If I go to my 3D view, there's my grade, and that's the way I want it. And this now reports at the right elevation. If I go to my site plan and I do a spot elevation, okay, this is going to tell me, this is at 49, 50 feet-ish, and this is down at my 45. Okay, the top of the roof is at 67 feet. Okay, so those are normal, the geodetic elevations. Okay, now the problem is if I go to my south elevation or in a section, this now says 50 feet 3 inches, and I really want it to say 0. I can have it say either one. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick on this level guy and edit the type properties, which will change all of them. If I don't want, I could say duplicate, and I could call one project based and one shared if I wanted to. So let's go in here and duplicate and call it 1 inch quarter head shared. Okay, now I'm going to change this to say shared coordinates. Okay, hit OK. Good. So that really changed both of them because these are the same type. So if I go in here, oh, I didn't. I need to change this to be, there you go. There, this is also going to be shared. So you can have both. You can have them both right on top of each other, one showing geodetic shared and one not. It's up to you. This is geodetic right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a handy tool here called coordinates, specify coordinate at a point. Watch what I can do. Okay, read the help menu there, the tooltip, click on here. I can pick here and go pick and say this is at 0. Aha. Boom. Which means that if this is at 0, this knows it's at 10 because these are two different types. Now if I click on here and I say, oh, you're not the shared, you're the old one, it's going to report the geodetic. So it's up to you, and we can also just use our paint tool and use our paint or our match type to do that. Okay, so now what happens is the same thing with our elevations. Right now this is saying 45 and this is saying 67 because these annotations are project based. But if I pick on here and I go in here, I can do the same thing. Look, down in here I can change it. Instead of being project, I can change it to say shared. You can also say relative. Slide over here, and if I just move this over, okay, so the elevation base, hit OK. Now this is giving me the 16'9", which is really the height of the building. If I go to the south and I do a dimension from here to here, that's the oh, maybe it's not that point that I picked. I must have went to a different point. Can I tab to pick this? No, so I'll do a different elevation. I'll do another spot elevation from this point. That's the 20'4". This is a different piece of roof. So the 20'4¼ is this 20'4¼ So it's, you have basically your level lines and your spot elevations can either read the shared coordinate, which is based, you know, when we went back in here, okay, I can change it anytime I want. I can say specify coordinates at a point, and I can go in here and say, okay, oh, this isn't at 0, this is at, you know, who knows, whatever I want. I could say it's at 100 feet. So then this will be 110, etc., etc. So that's how you locate your project with relation to your geodetic topo surface by just really moving it, and then after it's a matter of changing the properties of these tags to be shared instead of project. And then lastly, on our coordinates of our manage tab, we say specify at point, and then we can go in here and specify this wherever we want. Okay, so that's a little tip for you on that. Bye for now.